Stuck a stick to the heart of Dracula's boys, and it could be Eindhoven time!
Have you missed us? Good evening. Welcome. We're back. 12-man podcast, live and exclusive on Facebook, The Red, and everywhere else you want to listen to us if you have a random night where you can't sleep in this heat. Yes, good to be back. Good to be back on the road and get everything back up and running, especially after the disappointment of last Sunday. We won't talk about that much, so yes, you got me, Steve Jackson. I'm in the main chair, as usual. Joining of us tonight, the other guy you can see on your screen. He will give you a big wave if you ask him nicely. Mr. John Cutler. Evening, Cut.
Evening.
How are we doing?
Very well. Glad to be back.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Talk about actual domestic football, not argue about is Bellingham good enough or not. To be quite frank, I don't care anymore. I'd rather talk about Johnny Elson. So, right, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the summer. We've had a big summer. Obviously, a lot of stuff has happened. You know, we've had a couple of players not disappear, but leave. Had a couple of players come in. One player sticking about. Another player sticking about a bit longer, which is good. And then we'll just talk about the pre-season fixtures, what's happened, what hasn't happened. Personally, I think we've started really well, to be quite honest. I think we've done all right, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's all this time of year. It's not about results. It's all about fitness, and hopefully we can hit the ground running this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I say we've done really well so far, and say it quietly. We're doing all right. Touch wood. Nothing major's happened. No big injuries. No big problems. I know I've probably said it now, but nothing big's happened. So yeah, I'm quite happy. Quite happy. So yeah, we'll talk about that. I say, get your messages in. Get your, get everything you want to talk about to us, and yeah. Let's chat Borough. So, how's your summer been?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. Obviously the Euros. It's not the same as watching a Borough, but it fills a gap. And
what did you make of the Euros as a whole? Obviously, let's not bring in England's biggest disappointment. And
I think there was only one team that was impressive the whole way through when they won it. So the rest of the teams, I think, were bang average. To be fair, I think we massively underperformed, even though we got to the final. I think that squad was capable of winning it. Performances certainly on the pitch. I know I'm all about the results first, and I say it every week. I don't care if Borough play rubbish and win. Ultimately, that's what England did. They massively underperformed, but got results. Yeah. With regards to the manager, he's a massive legend at this club, and someone that I think is a great guy.
My hero.
But tactics-wise and certain things that were happening in games, I think if we'd have had a real top-class manager, I think England could have won that Euros, to be fair.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of bits that were missing, weren't there? There was a couple of bits that I didn't quite get. But I've got to shut some of the responsibility on players. Some of the players just didn't turn up, did they?
No, absolutely.
There was some really bad performances in them Euros.
Every player in that England squad plays for one of the biggest clubs in not just European football, world football, because let's face it, the Premier League's the place to be. They're all earning mega money, playing for the country, and performances... Yeah. Certainly, results-wise, it was fine. Yeah. But performances were way below what we should expect really as fans.
Well, that's it. I mean, we could say you've got this, that, and the other, but apart from that overhead kick, did Bellingham and that header against Serbia, did Bellingham do much apart from that? You know what I mean? There's stuff like that fans have talked about. Did we expect too much from him being only 21? The World Cup's only in a couple of years. That squad can go again for me. There's so many players in there, and there's so many players to come in that didn't get in the squad. You know what I mean? Matt Gay, for his first tournament, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was really good, yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's bits and bobs that we'll put right. Whoever comes, who do you want in as the next manager?
It won't happen, but I'd love to see Jurgen Klopp take over England. I'd love it.
Can you imagine?
People hated him at Liverpool, but I didn't. I loved his passion, and I think we're not going to get Guardiola because he's nailed on at City for a while.
Well, he's already said his bit, hasn't he?
He'd be the dream one, but I'd take Klopp 100%. I don't think there's that many top class managers about. Ancelotti at Real Madrid's another one, but he's not going to leave Real Madrid to come manage England. So
No. Well, I mean, if you're not going to leave them for Brazil, you're not going to leave them for England, are you?
plus, Klopp said he needed a rest, so he's had a couple of months off now. He can come in and manage England. Can't he?
Well, he's done bits and bobs over the summer. Went and seen Taylor Swift as well, apparently. So,
Oh yeah,
there you go.
not with Travis Kelce.
That's another conversation to have. But right, we'll talk about Borough. So we'll move on to the Borough. Get all your comments in. About quarter to 8, we're going to do a draw as well. I'll plug that now. Thank you to everybody who entered our competition. 2 tickets to go and see the 3 legends on the stage. Higgy, Merce, and Juninho, who we have just been confirmed as well, is flying in tomorrow. So he is coming.
He is, yeah.
Merce is coming. He's confirmed. Higgy was always coming. Let's face it. Higgy loves it, doesn't he? Let's face it. So Higgy will be there. They'll all be there. So yeah, it's going to be a good night. If you've already got tickets, yeah, there's still tickets available if you really want to go. But we'll let you know who the lucky person is for the 2 tickets.
Yeah, you can get your tickets from StocktonGlobe.co.uk, and they're £49.99.
There you go. So that's all the details you need. We'll remind you a little bit later as well. But yeah, there you go. If you want to go, get yourself there. It'll be a cracking night. There's loads of stuff that's going to be happening. Loads of interactions. You won't be just sat there watching Q&A. It's not going to be Jeremy Kyle for an hour, so you'll be all right. And you'll enjoy it. So yeah, get yourself in. Have some fun. So, right, let's talk Borough. Here we go. So, obviously, season that ended. We had a cracking end to the season. When we talked about our season review, we had a cracking end to the season.
We did.
Didn't want the season to end. We were one of them teams where if we just carried on a little bit longer, we might have done something. But we left it too late, which is fair enough. But obviously a couple of players left. Paddy McNair for a start. How did you feel about McNair?
Yeah, I think we all discussed it last year between us that he was an excellent servant for the club.
Yeah.
And if he would stay on reduced terms, because when he signed the contract, the club was in a different position then. Apparently he was one of the higher earners in the squad. If he'd have took a reduced terms, I would have kept him. But let's be honest, he would have been 5th choice centre half right now.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the club from moving on and not offering him a deal. I wish Paddy all the best. He's gone to San Diego, is it? But he's gone on loan to West Brom for a couple of months before that season starts. So apart from when he plays Borough, good luck to Paddy. He's been a class servant for this football club and never caused a problem.
Yeah, he did a North Atlantic hop and then hopped straight back. So, good luck to him at West Brom. Obviously, not for the football game we play them. But, I've got a bad word to say about Paddy. I thought he did really well for the club. Stuck with us as well during difficult time during COVID. I think if I remember rightly, he was one of the players that stuck about and forfeited a bit of obviously wages and stuff. So fair play to him if he did that. So he helped us. He's helped us stay up. He helped us go up as well.
Not just that. I mean, how many positions did he play for us?
Yeah.
He played all over the pitch, apart from the forward ones.
Yeah, I was going to say he played every line, didn't he?
You never heard him whinging about that. He always give his all. Whether his performances were always the best is questionable, but he always give 100%, Paddy.
Well,
and that's all I ask from players.
That's it. That's all I ever want. Is if we have to walk off and we get beat 1-0, but we give it absolutely everything. I've got no grumbles. Got absolutely no problems about that. So
yeah, it's a good look from me.
Yeah. I suppose we'll say he did leave. Luke Ayling went back to Leeds, and then came back.
Yeah, I think that's a great bit of business from this football club.
Really good, really good.
Is not just defensively, where he did pretty well for us last season. Was it 8 or 9 assists from January?
Yeah.
Which for a right back is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Now we'll talk about it a little bit later, but if we can bring in a certain other fullback, which I really, really want us to do.
Yeah.
Imagine Lath on the end of the deliveries from both flanks like that.
Well, you think about that. There's also a certain number 10 that's flirted with the fact that he wants to leave his current club as well.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, It could be a jolly boys. Can
you imagine that? Can you imagine him behind Lath?
Yeah, I think
could be good.
Talking about Ayling, like I say, he's a great pro, isn't he?
Oh,
He
gotcha.
seemed to fit in straight away with all the lads.
Had a shaky start.
Yeah.
You know, his first few games, we were all like, I don't know about this one. Is this him saying, I can't quite do it anymore? But as soon as he got comfy, that was it. He was done.
I think it was a no-brainer from the club to sign him on a free, to be honest.
It's easy. It's an easy decision if the wages are right, if everything's right. He was obviously comfortable with the club. You know, he's good friends with Johnny Howson, so it's going to work.
Another bonus is as well. He clearly wanted to come here. I think he did an interview after the last game of the season, where he insinuated that he would like to come back. And you hear players saying that all the time. And sometimes they probably don't mean it, but yeah, look. Obviously, Luke Ayling wanted to come back. He signed, and I think that's the right back slot, barring injury. Settled for the full season.
Do you think? Even when Tommy Smith's fully fit back?
Yeah, well, you know my thoughts on Tommy Smith. He's a great professional. Is he the best right back in the world? No, he's not. But he always gives 100%.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Tommy Smith, so him as the backup right back for me is absolutely fine. Should he come back from that injury? Because Achilles tendon injuries are massive. So it was his Achilles tendon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
So
did it just after Sunderland, didn't he?
So it's a huge injury, but good luck to Tommy, and I'm sure he'll push Luke Ayling all the way anyway.
So obviously, you know, we've not mentioned the third wheel of this. Does that mean the end for Dijksteel, or?
Personally, I think he'll go. Whether a club puts in a bid that this club thinks is right for this club will remain to be seen, but I think you could see last season that he's not really part of Michael's plans. And to be fair, Dijksteel's another one that I couldn't question his commitment.
Get that.
Good luck to him if he does go. Good luck to him in the future as well, Dijksteel, because he's been sound as a pro for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. He's I like him. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's. I think in a 3 he's brilliant. Yeah. In a 4, no. He's too. You can either do one or the other. You can't. You need to do both in a 4. And I don't think he's quite got that balance yet, unfortunately.
To be fair to him, he had a spell at centre half where he looked really good as well.
Yeah.
Dijksteel, so.
Exactly. They say that right centre half spot, he was brilliant. I thought he was really good. So, but yeah, I don't know.
He's another player that we're not going to lose a lot of money on, because I think we got him fairly reasonably from Charlton.
Yeah, it was a couple of quid, wasn't it? It wasn't too much.
He's been, like you say, he's been a decent pro. So if he does move on, good luck to him.
Yeah, I don't know if we signed him because of his playoff win against Sunderland in his last game for Charlton. I don't know, but there you go. But, so yeah, obviously Luke Ayling signed up. You know, now we started talking about him, we'll get into the signings. Speak to me about Delano Bergzorg from Huddersfield.
I'd like to speak to you about him, but I don't know anything about him. I read an article where some of their fans were saying he was a bad egg, blah, 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 but he was in a struggling team, so his stats last season weren't too bad for the team that was struggling so badly.
Well, that's it. You know what I mean? The team, they did go down. Huddersfield went down, League One. You know, we did lose them. You know, we'll talk about who came up, who came down, whatever, next week. We do our big season preview about how we think we'll do. So get your predictions in for that, how you think we'll get on, where you think we'll finish. I've got a spot in my head. I won't say it out loud. You'll all raise your eyebrows. But I'm going to say it anyway. So, yeah, you know, get in touch about that. It'll be really, really good. And I say we've got someone on from the Swansea podcast as well to help us preview the first game as well. So, yeah, lots of things happening with us. So,
yeah, you know, with regards to Delano as well, I think you've got to trust the network that the club's got in place. I think recently it's worked pretty well when you look at last season's signings.
Oh God, yeah.
Rodgers, Rav. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God,
yeah. Even bringing in players like Ayling. I do trust the recruitment process at the moment.
I do.
Last few years we've brought in some pearlers.
Well, I'd say if you look at the recruitment we did last year, the only one you have the big question mark on is one of the players that did go, which was Sammy Silver, and he's now gone on a season's loan to Portsmouth. And I think that'll do in the world of good. Bit of a different atmosphere. Obviously, you know, expectations not as, you know, with all the respect in the world. I think Portsmouth are a great club, by the way. I think they're really good. It's good to have them back in the Championship. I'm looking forward to going down to Fratton Park this season. Expectations won't be as high as us.
No.
They're not expecting to be in the playoffs. They're not expecting to be in the top 2. lots of their fans will take 21st now and be done with it and think, right, that'll do us. But I think he'll settle in because John Mousinho's a good manager as well. He plays good football, and I think he'll settle in quite nicely with him.
Am I surprised that he went on loan? No, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
But am I surprised that he's gone on loan and nobody else has come in as yet to cover him? And if we don't cover that position, will I be surprised? I would have to say yes. Because coming off the bench last year, got a few goals and a few assists.
Did. Got some big goals
I just think if we don't replace him, unless they think one of the young lads that are coming through, which we saw at the back end of last season, can be as good or better than him, which time will tell. I'll be a little bit surprised if we don't bring somebody in to cover him.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I mean, I'll one of the young lads that's potentially going to be coming in to replace him. We'll talk about a little bit later on with the pre-season games that have happened because he's been a big star, Sonny Finch. So is he sticking about? We don't know. So, but yeah, obviously going back to Delano Bergsog, you know, I've read the same as you. Bit of a bad egg. Can have his good games, can have his bad games. I just looked and I thought, well, that's any footballer. Any footballer has them. So, but what I've seen so far looks alive, looks sharp, looks keen.
Yeah.
And that's what you want from a footballer. It's just joins a football club.
I'll judge him on his performances and how he behaves at this football club, not at other clubs.
Exactly. He's got every player when they come in has the first 10 games to settle in and everything. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Luke Ayling.
Yeah.
First few games was absolutely. He was awful. Judge him after 10 games. Different player.
Yeah.
I think he had 5 assists in them first 10 games as well because of his performances in them 7. So says it all. You know what I mean? So,
where do you see his main position as? Do you think he'll play wide and he's the one who's maybe come in for?
I think he's the one that's coming. I think he's the one that's coming for Sammy. You know. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be an out-and-out centre forward. I don't think he's the one that's going to be competing with Latte Lath, is he?
No, I think I mean, we'll talk about who we still think we need to get in, but I still, number 9 is still a big thing for us. I love Josh, but yeah, I don't know.
We definitely need another one.
Maybe he needs a year to go and flex his muscles somewhere. Just learn a bit of the tough trade, a bit like he did at Bristol Rovers because he learned a lot from. I think Joey Bart was in charge at the time, wasn't he?
It was indeed Joey Bart.
And he'll definitely learn a lot of tough
Let's hope he didn't learn too much from Joey Bart.
Yeah, don't read his tweets. So yeah, we'll see. What's he make him take the penalty against Bolton? He stepped straight up, didn't he?
He did. I'm all for that.
I like
bit
that.
of confidence.
Yeah, they say. But from what I was seeing as well, they say I haven't had the privilege to go to a game yet because of what's happened personally with me. I won't be speaking like him, so I don't worry about it. But he took the ball straight off and went, "I'll have that. Thank you, pop."
All for that.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, yeah, it's let's see what he does. Let's see what he can do, and then a bit like our next one, Aidan Morris.
Another player. I know it sounds a bit boring, this, and no good for the listeners, but I don't know too much about him. Read quite a lot. Highly rated. Was very highly rated at Columbus Crew. Got a standing ovation off the fans when he came off the pitch, so that tells you a lot. It's a massive jump from the American League to come over here. Physically, and the standard is it's 100% week in, week out. Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, some weeks. It'll remain to be seen, but again, I trust the recruitment. And he's like you say, he's highly rated, so we'll see. Rated. We'll see.
Well, you obviously took my point there. If any player has a full standing ovation for players and fans alike, and they build it as his farewell game, he must be doing something right.
I think it shows first and foremost his character.
Yeah.
To be well liked, not just by fans, but also his fellow pros inside the club. I think it's a big thing into what we've tried to build at this football club, team spirit. Ayling, we've already mentioned, he came in and bought straight into that.
Yeah, he did.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing him put on a shirt and play some competitive football. Yeah,
same here, absolutely. When he does pull that shirt on, and because he's had some minutes in the pre-season games, I don't think he's had an impact goal-wise yet. I don't think I've seen his name pop up scoring a goal yet. Might do on Wednesday, I don't know. But position-wise, is this the beginning of us seeing Johnny Howson? We found someone that'll kind of cover what he does.
He might cover what he does if Johnny's unavailable, but he's going to have to be some player to come in and take Johnny's place at the start of the season. I'll tell you that.
Oh God, yes.
And once Johnny gets that shirt, we see how consistent he is. I think when we had him on the pod, we called him Benjamin Button. He's a great pro. He's a great lad, and he's a good player.
And another one that's hit the ground running in pre-season as well. And another one.
If Morris gets in ahead of him, we've got a player on our hands. I'll tell you that.
It's good that the club is starting to prepare, because as much as we love him, as much as we do call him Benjamin Button, he's not going to last forever. Which I'm going to hate the day he's gone.
Yeah.
Because this word's bandied around a bit too much for my liking, but he is a legend. He is an absolute legend, that man.
I've mentioned it a couple of times. Well, certain players, he's a top pro.
Yeah.
He's a great leader. Is he a shouter on the pitch? No. But he's a great leader by example. I think Johnny will play 25 games plus starting this season.
Yeah.
And I don't see why we can't get promoted with Johnny being the main player in our centre midfield.
Yeah.
We've got Aidan Hackney back. We've got Morris now, where we're going to see what he can do.
Mm-hmm. We've
got options now.
Even, dare say it, Dan Barlasser has started pre-season well.
Well, you can say it if you want. I'm not. Again, it's a clean slate.
Of course it is. Absolutely.
It's a clean slate. But
of course it is, mate.
I'll be amazed if Barlasser starts first game of the season.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about a certain other player that was here last season. 2 players with signed contracts, and I'll be amazed if Barlasser starts games.
Yeah, same. But first comments in, Stu Whitney. Good to see you again, Stu. Thanks for popping in. Already had Columbus Crew fans, now Borough fans because of Aidan. That says a lot as well. I see that as always a positive. You look at we do it as Borough fans. We do it. I know I do it with Stu Arney. I still do it. Yeah. I still love that guy. Yeah. I don't care if he's nearly 40. Get him back on that Borough team. Give him a go. Because the rubbish he got when he was here was ridiculous. I thought he was brilliant. I say I'll never ever have a bad word, especially after that Sunderland goal. Dear me. Like, I saw people sprayed all over that away end when that went in. That was great.
That was welding.
I was one of them. I was halfway down the stairs. It was class.
He gave us some unforgettable moments, didn't he?
Yeah, Brighton as well.
Exactly.
Massive moment. But yeah, I mean, the fact that if other fans are clicking in and saying, I want to see how Aidan's getting on, backs up your point, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you say, we'll see. We'll see.
Of course we will. And obviously, we were saying there, we built up Aidan saying, it's a big step moving from America to here, full time. Certain player of ours did that. Yes, he had a bit of a loan spell at Birmingham, but he did that. We all thought he might not be here. We were warned by our Aussie mate Rye. I'm sure he'll be listening as well. Morning to him. He signed a new contract, Mr. Riley McGree. Did you expect that coming?
There was a lot of chat, wasn't there, last year about him? And you read this all the time. He didn't see eye with Michael Carrick. They'd had a falling out, blah blah blah. But a fully fit Riley McGree is easily good enough for us and our aspirations of getting into the Premier League. I can't speak highly enough of Riley. I think he's a top player, really talented lad. And I was absolutely buzzing when they tweeted that he'd signed. Was it a 4-year contract or 4-year extension, whatever it is?
It was quite cool where they did it as well, because obviously they were saying about, the people have spoken about his tash.
Yeah.
Because he kept his tash all summer, hasn't he? And then all of a sudden he was like, "There's my contract. I've signed it." I was like, "Wow."
He's a top player.
Wow.
Like I say, especially at the level we're at the moment.
Yeah.
There's question marks about him in the Premier League. He's never really played in the Premier League. But we're not in the Premier League.
Exactly.
And he's definitely good enough for the Championship and a team in the top end of the Championship.
What do you make of that conversation people to have? Because that's where we're looking to be, Premier League. That's where we want to be. And that's where I want us to be next, after this season coming. I'd love, as much as I hate the stuff that's in the Premier League, VAR and all that, and all the money and what have you with it, I want us to be in it. It's the epitome of football for me. What do you make of when we start getting linked with players, which we are? There's players being mentioned. You mentioned one there, a certain left back. And then they just pop and say, well, he didn't do it in the Premier League. Is that really an argument?
Well, no, because ultimately we're not in the Premier League.
Yeah.
With Riley, he's never played in the Premier League.
Exactly.
So how can you say he wouldn't do it next season if we achieve what we all want, which is promotion?
Exactly.
I don't think the club are making any bones about it. The players that we're signing aren't making any bones about it. That's what they're talking about. That's the aim of the club. Who's to say if he has a superb season, Riley can't go and do it? You could say the same about Van den Berg. He's just a kid. He's fantastic last season. If that lad has one decent season in the Premier League, or even half a season, we're looking at a £70 million player in today's market.
Big time.
Hayden Hackney's another one. We've got a lot of young boys there. That the better they say, don't they? The better the opposition and the better the players that you're playing with and against, the better player you become.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a lot of talented footballers at this football club, and we haven't mentioned him yet, but we've just signed a certain 16-year-old who's really highly rated. I don't think he'll get games in the first team next year.
No.
But Harley Hunt was another one that we brought in.
Yeah.
That we beat off a lot of apparently stiff competition, like what we did with Rav last season. So he's another one. Massive. Apparently he's going to have a massive future, and let's hope that's with this football club.
Is he one we've got to just be a little bit careful of, like you just said there? He's only 16. Are fans going to start comparing him to Rav straight away because of what happened with Rav? Rav came in, we weren't quite sure what we had, and then he played 2 games and we knew exactly what we had.
Yeah, but I think, to be fair to this lad, I don't think he's going to get many games
me neither.
initially. If you look at centre halves, we've got Dale Fry, Rav, Darrell Lenihan's back.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So
that's like a new signing, that.
Well, yeah, someone who I really high.
I love him,
someone I'm missing. Who's the other centre half that I haven't mentioned?
Matt Clark.
There you go, Matt Clark. Exactly. It was outstanding second half of last season.
Another one that started pre-season very well again.
Yeah. So I don't think this young lad's going to get many games, but he's going to come in. He's going to learn how we play at this football club, get used to the area, and like you say, he was highly rated. So again, the recruitment team have done well to get him here or entice him here.
Exactly, and because we just mentioned him there, obviously Matt Clark didn't get pre-season last year.
Yeah,
because he was still injured. What will pre-season do for Matt Clark? Because he's been absolutely mega since that game against Leeds in December. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, he'd been out a long time there, and he came straight back in. He was outstanding last year, arguably because Lenihan was injured and Fry, wherever he went.
We still don't know that, do we?
No, but Clark, you could quite easily say, I bet a lot of fans would say, will be our starting centre half with Rav for this season, and you couldn't really argue with that based on his performances last season because he was outstanding. But if there's a team in the Championship with 4 centre halves of that standard, I haven't seen them.
No,
we've got 4 real decent standard Championship players there at centre half.
Yeah, I mean, I always preach make your spine as strong as possible, and the branches that go with it will just complement the spine and make us a better team. Yeah. Our spine looks rock solid at the moment.
It does, yeah.
It looks brilliant. We've got a brilliant keeper, got 2 brilliant centre halves, midfield's quality, and we've unearthed an absolute gem of a striker in Latte Laff, who's been, obviously we've had loads of interest for him. I say if we can get him to stay, past this summer, we've got a hell of a full season in a striker that's confident and has started scoring goals again. So,
And what did he finish on last year? Was it 18 league goals or something?
Something like that.
And he missed a lot of games as well.
He did, yeah. He did.
So
he was out for half. A bit like loads of squad. He was out for half a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's lots of promise. Obviously, with all them that's come in, I mean, Phil Batch has got in touch, said best signing of the summer. Ryan McGree signing a 4-year contract, which I think a lot of fans will say because no one expected it. He looks re-energised. He looks ready to go again, which is brilliant. And like you said, he'll fit in any Championship team if he was given a chance. He could walk into any one of them. Who is our best summer signing, you would say, when you saw him come up and thought, oh, wow, I like that?
Yeah, for me, it's Riley.
It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, for me it is. Like I say, because some of the players who we've brought in, apart from Luke Ayling, are the unknown quantities to us at this football club. We know the qualities Riley's got. He had a well, he got an injury last year, and he even when he came back, you could see he was never really fully fit. If he's had a pre-season now, if we can get a fully fit Riley for the whole of next season, if he plays the whole of next season, there's no way we finish outside the top 6. I'll say that.
There you go. Gives you a glimpse of what he's going to say next week. But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, the glimmers he gave us last season when he was half fit. I mean, the goal at Birmingham, the performances he put in during the season as well when you did play. Yeah, there's a player in there. There's an absolute gem.
Well, we know the qualities he's got.
Exactly.
Shown them time and time again.
Exactly.
And we mentioned there about him signing a new contract. There was a certain other player that extended his contract as well, wasn't there? Isaiah Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So
he started pre-season. I sound like a broken record. He started really well as well.
Yeah.
He's got minutes under the belt. He looks as fresh as ever.
He looked like he was getting back to the player we knew he was last season, didn't he? He had a bit of a dip the year before, but we know the qualities he's got.
Exactly.
And that's another good bit of business that the club's done by tying him down and keeping him here.
It cements that right hand side as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah,
plenty of assists, and people forget he's still relatively young.
He is. He was. I remember a couple of years ago, I put him under the same bracket as Jed Spence, simply for. Because you remember when Neil Warnock said about Jed Spence, he's either going to end up at the top, or he's going to end up back at Barnes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen what's happened to Jed, and he's moved on, and. Yeah, don't smoke a big cigar when you've got nothing to brag about, Jed. Don't make that mistake because Neil got you for that one. I thought Izzy'd be the same. I thought if we can't get the potential out of him, I don't know where he goes from that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought he's going to slip back down the leagues, which I really didn't want to happen because there's so much potential in Jones. But he banged on really well. He got into a groove again when he got back from injury, and it showed the games he missed cost us last season because he got injured just before the second leg against Chelsea. I still don't know why Jordan Hugill did what he did. So it shows I really have no idea what he was doing. Which meant he missed the games after that. You're looking at the game against Plymouth, we lost 2-0 at home, and looked absolutely horrendous. It was them sort of games that meant we didn't get top 6. And I still believe now, if we got in the top 6 of the final games of the season, we wouldn't have been far off it. Because it's a team that flies into the playoffs, a bit like Southampton did, because they got into the groove, didn't they, towards the end of the season? They only got beat by, I think it was Ipswich and Leicester. Only teams that beat them, they went up. It shows form's key, But,
so as well as the players we've brought in, we've managed to keep hold of 2 really important players.
Exactly, and they're the signs of the summer for me so far. And we've been low key. Teams around the Championship have made big signings. One thing we haven't mentioned, we did lose a keeper. Jamie Jones went to Salford, which was really, really weird. Which now means we haven't got a third choice keeper.
And Liam Roberts goes somewhere as well, didn't he?
I think he got released or something, didn't he? So, I know he definitely didn't come back this summer, which is fair enough. Which has left us with Tom Glover, says again. We haven't got a third keeper right now. We've now got Zach
Hemming.
Zach Hemming is coming because has Solbring gone back out?
I thought it was Hemming who went
was
out.
it Hemming?
One of them, one of them, yeah. But they both
because they both had really good. They had both really good seasons last year, didn't they?
Yeah, one of them I think played in Scotland. Was it St Johnston?
That's where Zach Hemming was.
And Leighton Orient for Bryn, was he?
Yeah, he was their player of the year, wasn't he?
So
says it all really.
I think he's well thought of behind the scenes at this football club.
And Carrick said as well, hasn't he, that he thinks he's given the chance. Now, if he wants to come back in and stake his claim for something,
I mean, we talked about Glover there. There was a lot of talk of him going, wasn't there?
There was
talk of. I think Celtic were interested. Newcastle. This is paper talk, obviously, but
yeah.
there was a lot of talk about him possibly moving.
Newcastle, dear me. Yeah. How the mighty have fallen. All these billions and they can't spend them. Dear me. Well, they can. I mean, the dodginess of the Premier League that was epitomising them 3 days before the the financial and sustainability stuff reset, and Forest bought Newcastle's Elliot Anderson for 45 million, and then offset it by selling a keeper back to them and then Villa did the same with Chelsea, and then they did with Everton, and then
Yeah.
that's what we've got to. That's what we're going up against if we go up. That's not football for me. It's not football for me. You know what I mean? So I'd love to go up, but not against that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's good that Tom Glover's still here. It is good because we lose him, we are down to 1.
Yeah.
But we'll talk. So with that being said, we're going to talk about what players we still not play positions we need to fill up now. Is a keeper still one of them for you? Or would you give Solbrin the chance now?
Oh, well, you've still got Glover, you've got Bryn, so I don't think we need a goalkeeper, to be honest. I talked, lots of people last year talked about Engel and how much he's improved and blah, blah, blah. But if we're wanting to finish in the top 6 and, dare we say it, in the top 2, there's a left back that we've been linked with that I would absolutely love to bring back to this football
And
club.
the possibility of a problem with Bangura as well. There's talks. There's a problem. There's a problem with him injury wise, so we don't know what's the crack there. Who was this left back you're after?
I'd take Ryan Giles back all day long, mate. I alluded to it earlier. Ayling on one side, Giles on the other, Lath and another striker. You're feeding off them deliveries.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dream for a centre forward.
It could be something else. It really could be.
Could you blame him for going to Luton? They were in the Premier League, lots more money.
Well,
when we had Kieran Scott,
I was going to say he said
alluded
it, didn't he?
to the fact that we
couldn't
blew us out the
compete.
water wages wise. You can't blame the player for that. I think if we were both in the Premier League and we both offered him the same wages, would he have chose Luton over us? No, he wouldn't. So certain things happen in football, and he's gone there on loan, and they've had an obligation to buy him. Now they have to get rid of him. We've got all the power here.
Yeah, we do.
It'd be like I say. I think if you asked Borough fans, 90% of them surely would have him back here.
Well, Hull tried the old hardball thing with us, didn't they? Said we don't have to let him go. We don't think he will go this, and we just didn't bite to it. We just sat back and went, okay.
I think
we haven't said anything else.
Their manager came out and said, didn't he?
I think
if a player wants to leave,
they can go.
They can go. So by that, I took it that Giles has possibly spoken to him and said, "Look, I really want to go back there and play my football. I enjoyed it under Michael. I like the club. I like the area. Blah blah blah. Whatever he said, it's a no-brainer for me. If you get the opportunity, bring back this football club." Kieran spoke glowingly of him last year and said it was a name that was spoke down the halls, plenty at Rockcliffe. So it was a player we clearly wanted to sign. And
yeah, there's obviously some truth in it. There's something. I think it'll be one of those that drags out over the summer.
As well, yeah.
And by the time we play Portsmouth at the end of the month, I think it'll be one of those that possibly gets over the line and just gets it done. So
wouldn't that be great?
It'd be good.
Would left back be one of the priorities for you?
I think now everything's come out about Bangura, and there's a problem there, and we've only got Engel. I know McCormack has come in, one of the youngsters, and he's done really well.
Yeah.
I know he came in a bit last season as well. I think there was a couple of games where he appeared on the bench, things like that. There's players coming through the youth that are unbelievable.
Yeah.
We probably do need another left back, but priority for me is a striker. It's all good having one good striker and score goals. You need two.
Yeah, you do.
Every team needs two places where you get your goals. I mean, look at the teams that went up last year. They had Mavididi, Leicester, Vardy scored goals as well.
Armstrong, Southampton.
Armstrong, Che Adams scored goals as well. There's two straight away. Ipswich, they had goals from all over the shop. They brought in a goal scorer in Kiefer Miller. I think it's just joined Sheffield United, if I don't remember right. So they'll be wanting to keep an eye on, but we'll preview all of the teams next week. But
I think
we need a striker.
It's a position that's fairly obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. And like Kieran said to us last season, it's all good saying, we need a striker. Getting one, It's a completely different story.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows you want one. And when you want one, everybody knows you just put a 10% on that price.
Yeah.
Because they know you'll pay it. That's the way the modern world is, unfortunately.
I think there's a couple of names out there.
I was going to say, what kind of name would you think about realistic? I mean, don't come at me and say Luis Suarez. I mean, I'll just tell you, walk out that door. It's stupid.
Well, we could go to Villa and say, we'll give you X amount of... We'll loan Cameron Archer back. And if we get promoted, an obligation to buy. Other clubs have done it in this league.
Mm-hmm.
He was top class when he was here. He'd be a player I'd certainly be interested in.
Yeah.
I know before we went on air, you mentioned a certain other player that's at Ajax, but
yes,
I'm not sure that's ever going to happen, to be honest.
I don't think the money's there for us anymore for Chuba.
Yeah,
but he's now flirting with it. He thinks he has to leave to get his football.
He does, yeah.
And he speaks very, very highly about Middlesbrough.
He does.
I mean, if you look at his social media activity and stuff, he puts videos out saying, that's my best. I mean, that picture he's got on his wall of the celebration of Bernie and himself in front of the. I mean, Bernie was in front of the whole gate. He was obviously in front of the south stands. Both celebrating 20 goals in the league. He sees that as one of his best achievements, which says a lot.
I mean, let's be honest, I wouldn't be against it happening if the football club could manage to do it and it's financially viable. But do I think it'll happen? I certainly don't. I think it's more likely. I think it'd be more likely out of the two of them that it would be Archer. But it's a position that we definitely need to strengthen.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. We definitely need someone in to help Latte laugh. He can't score all the goals himself. And you can't play all 46 games as much as you love him to. You can't.
Other than that, to be honest, I think if we did strengthen, say for example, we brought in Giles and Archer, I'd be over the moon with our business in the summer, and I think that squad would be really strong in every area all over the pitch.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, one more name to put on the striker thing. I know a lot of names will come at Borough now saying, you could get him and him. I'd look at Jay Stansfield from Fulham. He was at Birmingham last year and he was brilliant. Yeah. I know Birmingham went down, but he scored goals for Birmingham. He scored a lot of goals. I think he'd be a great addition. He's nimble. He's a bit like Adam Armstrong. He's a right nuisance. So why have you got that look on your face?
I was just reading Stuart's comment there. How confident are you guys
for Borough this
season?
And where will we finish position wise? I mean, we'll give away everything we think will happen next season next week in our season preview. Yeah. But if I was going to pin you and say, give me a position where you think we'll finish right now, without the potential of getting this, that, and the other. If we had the squad right now,
without a left back and a centre forward, I'll say top 6.
Okay. 9th
with this squad right now.
With this squad right now, yeah.
That low, really.
I think there's a few bits missing. Yeah, there's a couple of injuries still there, isn't there? I mean, Dale Fry's still not fit for one. I don't know what's happening with him.
Again, right now though, for me, Dale Fry would be 4th choice centre half. So, is he going to get any minutes?
Don't know.
Obviously, the squad's going to be stronger with him fully fit and in the squad. But right now, as things stand, players coming back and performances from last season, I would say he's 4th choice. Yeah,
I would as well. I wouldn't. I mean, Matty Donovan's just coming there. I think maybe another left-footed centre half could be needed. It's not a bad shout. I mean, it's not. You don't have to be left-footed, but I do like the balance of a left foot, right foot. I mean, one of our most successful partnerships was Ben Gibson and Daniel Ayala. One was left-footed, one was right-footed.
I just think if you're going to bring in a centre half, one of them four is going to have to go, aren't it?
Well, yeah, you can't have 5 because one of them's going to start getting a bit of cheer and think, well, why aren't I getting in? And you can't really say with extreme confidence, apart from you with Dale Fry, they've done a massive amount wrong to be completely booted.
No. I'd be quite happy going into the season with them 4.
Yeah, I would as well. I think I always have a rule: if you have 2 for every position on the pitch, and then 3 behind it, including the keeper, I think you're pretty much there. So that's why I think maybe another centre midfielder just in case.
You think
Just,
another
just,
one?
just to back it up. You know,
You've got House in there, haven't you? You've got Hackney coming back.
yeah, you got Morris.
Riley McGree can play centre midfield for me.
I'd rather have
Morris
Ryan on
as
the
well.
I'd rather have Ryan on the left.
Yeah. In an ideal situation, I just mean if we did get injuries.
Yeah, it's just obviously I mentioned that a bit earlier. Barlas has started its pre-season quite well. And what did you say? I'll let you say that.
Well,
but like you said, it's a clean slate for everyone. Hopefully, it does okay. But we'll we've got 10-15 minutes left. We'll talk about we'll quickly talk about the pre-season games because one of the goals we did set up was from Barlas at Gateshead. Big Gateshead 1-0. One of the games, the ball then was abused, and the header was even better.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? It was a good set piece goal. We didn't score a lot last season, set pieces.
No.
And it was good to see. I know that obviously people are going to go, yeah, calm down. It's only Gateshead. Yeah, I get that. Newcastle's local derby and all that. I get that. But you know what I mean? It's still, teams will still have to defend it. And if you put the ball where you put it, they're not going to defend that because it was right on the 6-yard line. It was a great ball then. But we've started scoring some goals in pre-season, haven't we?
We have
5-3 at the weekend, 3-0 against Bolton. I know we got beat 2-0 in our first game against Vitória, but they're a top league Portuguese side.
That was our very first game.
I think they'd been in pre-season 2 weeks before we had.
Yeah.
So you can't really, I mean, Phil Batts just backed up your point there. Barca plays okay against low league opposition, not good enough for a top 2, top 6 team.
I agree.
There you go. You got someone that'll agree with you. And Matty Donovan, how do you see the number 10 position? I know we have Azaz, but what backup? I think that's where Bergzorg comes in. I really do. If I know I see him as a wide player, but I think you can slot him behind.
I think McGree can also play in the 10.
Yeah. So there you go. Says it all. Should we do our competition? I think we'll get that done, and we'll talk about what we've learnt from pre-season, where we go from there, and then we'll tell you what's going to happen next week. So
as well, we've kept the listeners hanging on long enough. For the night to remember, Buddha Legends, Janino, Mason, and Craig Hignett. We asked you to follow the Red Radio, the 12-man Twitter page and
Facebook page.
Yep, the Facebook page. So we're going to do the draw, and there's going to be 2 tickets.
Yes, so 35 people entered. So I've got a random. You've all been assigned a number. Well done. So I'm going to pick it. You're going to watch me do it. So there you go. I've got 1 to 35, as you can see.
1 to 35.
Yep. So I'm going to press that button, generate. It gives me number 3. So number 3 on the list, reposted, is Michael Sherwood. So there you go. Michael Sherwood, if I know he listens, because he tweets me about it. So get in touch with the 12th man page on X. I think is it still called X? I don't know what Elon Musk does these days.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So get in touch with the X, or get in touch with the Reds. Your 2 tickets will be on the door. Just see the winner of the 12-man podcast competition. And obviously we'll give the name as well for yourself, so not everybody can just turn up and say, well, I won that.
Yeah, maybe take some ID with you.
Yeah, I would. But yeah, there you go. Michael Sherwood, he's your winner. He's got 2 tickets to the night with Higgy, Merce, and Janino. Sounds like a cracking night. Loads of crowd interaction. Say loads of people get involved with the 3 legends. Loads of stories, and we'll give a tenner to anybody that asks Merson about Strictly. There you go. There'll be something to ask him about, and it's something to wind him up about. So there you go.
Just a reminder that it's this Thursday.
This
August
Thursday,
the 1st,
yes.
7:30.
So yes, get yourself there. If you haven't got a ticket, where can they buy them from? You've got all the details in front of you.
I have indeed, if I can see it. StocktonGlobe.co.uk.
There you go.
Or reduk.com.
There you go. So I have one of them websites. There's still tickets available to go and have a cracking night down in Stockton at the Globe. So it'll be a great night.
And we have it on good authority that Janino is definitely going to be here. He's flying in tomorrow.
Exactly.
Or flying tomorrow, and he's going to land in Wednesday.
Exactly. So there you go. Janino is coming. Mercy's give all the details. He's coming as well. Higgy's camping already, so he's already there. It'll be a cracking night. You'll enjoy it. You'll love it. A bit of nostalgia for people that enjoyed football with the Borough in that sort of era, because it was a magic era for the club.
I'm sure there'll be some cracking stories.
Yeah, exactly. So
two of the most talented, well, Iggy as well. Three real top talents for this football club, but two real top international talents that grace this football club.
Yeah, I'll always say one of the best players I've ever seen put a Borough shirt on was Paul Merson. How we got him to play for us in Division 1 as it was back then, the Championship, where it was remarkable, because he was different level. Him and Gaza were absolutely different level. So yeah, you'll get some stories out of Merce. Ask me about Gaza. There's some funny stories about that as well. So yeah, you'll enjoy that. But so next week we're obviously going to do our season preview.
Yeah.
We're going to talk Swansea fans. Going to tell us a little bit about their summer, their transfer business. Won't just be me and you talking next week. Have it on good authority. Mr. Donovan will be with us as well. So John will be back with us, which will be really good. Hopefully Daddy will be back from Ibiza. He's currently sat on the beach enjoying a couple of Estrella. Lucky son of a gun. But you know, sum up Borough's summer so far. You know, have you been happy with what you've seen so far? You know, are we progressing because we always look and say we need to be at that point when we kick a ball to Riverside at Swansea. Do you think we're getting towards getting to that point where we think we're not far away here? You know, fitness is going well, games are coming in thick and fast. You know, we've got another one on Wednesday at Harrogate.
I don't think we're far away, but I mean, Dicko used to mention it last year. He mentioned it the year before. That we needed marquee signings and we needed them in before the season starts.
Yeah.
And although I used to disagree with him back then, I think he was proven right. I would like to think that we can do it this season. Bring in a left back and a centre forward. Then I will be over the moon without business.
Yeah, same. Do you think the league is a bit easier this season?
I think of the teams that came down, I think Burnley will be the biggest threat.
I said that.
Sheffield United will be there or thereabouts under Wilder, but I think our squad's quite possibly as good as theirs. I think Luton, fair play at them. If we weren't going up, I wanted them to go up. Little club, it was a dream scenario. What football's all about, but I think they massively overachieved that season.
Yeah.
And so did them players. I think you get on a crest of a wave and you just somehow it manages to keep going, and I think it did with them.
I think they started losing a couple of players as well now, haven't they? So.
I don't see them as a massive threat this season.
No, I don't either. I think they'll probably get a playoff spot. Yeah. I think they're good enough for that. Because they haven't lost a great deal of players. The players are starting to move away from them. It's always going to happen, wasn't it? Really.
I think Leeds still have some talented players.
Yeah, hopefully they get picked apart, which would be great.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice from our point of view with a few of their top. I mean, we've seen Archie Gray went to Tottenham. It'd be nice to see a few more of their players leaving.
Bit of a strange one, that wasn't it? Archie Gray at Spurs, 40 million.
Yeah,
bit of a weird one that. But
he's a talent though.
Oh, he's a massive talent. I think he'd be a great player in years to come. Yeah. Spurs being Spurs, gone a bit too quick.
But yeah,
but there you go. You know, didn't learn from Jed Spence, did they? Last one from Matty Donovan. I feel this season will be a special one. After watching the friendlies, we look like a really attacking team. If we have a strong start, we could really push on. I think that's going to be what we'll focus on next week, isn't it? We need to start quick.
Yeah.
Last season, we did not start. I mean, having to wait until the end of September for your first win, that's a shocker. That's an absolute shocker.
Well, ultimately, it cost us, didn't it?
It cost us big time. You know, for 7 games in to have a point. Yeah. Or 2 points.
I mean,
that's not good enough.
It's not good enough, but they don't go into the start of the season saying, "Oh, we'll start slow and then get going." They're trying as hard as they can initially, but for one reason or another, it just didn't happen last season.
No,
at the start, and it was worrying times. There was people actually saying that they wanted that Carrick should be going and that the players aren't playing for him. Blah blah blah. I was never one of them, to be fair.
Yeah, Carrick's out of his depth.
Yeah, but it's got to improve. The start of the season is massive because. Yeah. We were already 15 points behind the leaders.
Yeah, and look,
it could have been more actually at that.
And look where we ended up.
Exactly.
So close.
It's huge that we get going.
Yeah, we need to. It seems to be us and Coventry. If us and Coventry actually started the season really well, we'd be nip and tuck all season. Because I think there'll be another one up there, but we'll talk about that say next week. But get all your predictions into us. Tweet us, Facebook, whichever it may be, YouTube. Ban a comment on the on this episode. What do you think will happen to us? We'll do our homework this week. We'll discover where we think we'll finish. I know we've just give away what we think right now, but I say we won't give our predictions from the squad now. We'll give it to what we actually think will really happen, and players to look for, players that need to do a little bit more that are already here, things like that. Get your predictions in, and just one last round on that competition. Michael Sherwood, you are the winner. You have won our 2 tickets, so well done. Thanks for entering. Thanks for everybody for entering. It was, get in touch with the page. I say we'll get in touch with you to, let you know what exactly to do. I know we give you a little bit of a briefing what to do, but we'll tell you exactly where you need to go, things like that. Because, anybody will turn up and just say that's you. So, and that's it really. That's us up and running.
Up and running. Good to be back.
And running. We are. Yes, really good to be back. Thank you very much for popping in.
No, pleasure. Yeah,
we'll be back next week. Thank you very much for interacting again. It's been lovely to speak to you all again. We've missed you. If you're going on Wednesday, come say hello. New ground for me Wednesday. I've been to Harrogate.
Harrogate,
yeah, I've been to Harrogate. It's ground number 81 for me, out of the 92, so not far off now.
Some good going.
Yeah, so they don't want to scratch off. Jade hates that chart, so she'll be delighted about that.
I bet you can't wait till it's full.
Yeah, so So, it's gonna be a good one. I can't wait to get stuck into this season. Can't wait to get, chat about it every week with you people. And we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for popping on, and we'll speak to you next week. Toodaloo, arrivederci, up the borough. Be seeing you.
Thank you for listening to the 12th Man Podcast. Hope to see you all again next week. Up the borough.